Hi, welcome to another Headshot Wargaming review. In this video we're going to look at the Assault on Normandy Bolt Action Starter Pack from Warlord Games. So Bolt Action is a 28mm scale World War II war game effectively. Now it's designed, it's not a huge scale like something like Flames of War, so it's more, well, not being squad based, it's, I don't know, say 30 to 40 models on each side with maybe some vehicles. It's not designed for absolutely huge battles, although you can play it like that. It's somewhere between, I guess, something like Saving Private Ryan and Band of Brothers, so somewhere between the two of those. There is a wide range of models available for the game, but what we're looking at today is the Assault on Normandy starter kit. So if we open up the box and have a look at what you get, the first thing to note about the starter pack, and this is the case with a lot of the Warlord Games starter kits, is you get a full-size rulebook, hardback rulebook. So rather than a mini rulebook, they've given you the full actual rulebook, and that's obviously quite a good saving, because eventually you might have had to pick up the rulebook if they'd given you like quick start rules or a mini rulebook. You might have still wanted to pick up the full one. They do also do army books for each of the factions. So there's a German book, there's a British book, there's a US book, Soviet book, and they provide extra background information about the periods of the war, different lists for different periods. So as you can see, the book's really good quality, lots of images, the different armies, showing the wide range of models that they do, and the rules are all really well explained in this hardback rulebook. So that's good. You get some leaflets to help you get started in the game. So you get a couple of assembly leaflets. Now these are just to help you assemble the models that come in the actual box. So in the box you get some late war Germans and some US infantry. Now the models they're really good quality and they're really realistic, but that does mean that there's a huge range of weapon options, and the weapons aren't fixed to particular arms, so you do need to pay attention when assembling them. The guide will give you information about which arms can hold which weapons, and that will just make sure that some of the poses that you're creating are correct. And you do get a sort of a getting started leaflet, which is more just to recommend which of the forces you should assemble them as. Next we have the miniatures themselves, so you get some bases for some of them. The bases on others are on the actual sprues. So this is effectively all the sprues that you get. And what we'll do is we'll just take a look at some of these. So the weapons, it will vary from faction to faction, but the weapons come on a separate sprue for this, in this case here. And as you can see, you've got rifles here, some submachine guns, some light machine guns. Now this is the actual American sprue in this case. And on the American sprue, this particular sprue has 5 guys, 4 guys standing, 1 guy crouching. You can see that the sprues are very similar to GW quality in that you get a lot of extra pieces. So you've got a wide range of heads to use, you've got different types of backpacks, you've got all the arms up here, and as I mentioned, be careful which ones you use with which weapons. You've got extra things like entrenching kits, etc., just to add more realism to the model. So you get 4 of the American sprues. Is that right? Yeah, so you get 4 of the full-size American sprues with 5 models in each, giving you 20 Americans. And then the German sprues are slightly different in that they are smaller, but I'll show you that in a minute. Firstly, the German weapon sprue. So again, very similar to... Actually, this is the American weapon sprue. The other one was the German weapon sprue. This is the American weapon sprue. You can tell because it's got the bazooka on it down here. But again, very similar to the other weapon sprue we looked at, where you've got a wide range of weapons. You actually got some sniper rifles on there as well that you can use to make up a sniper team if you chose. Now, if we look at the actual German sprues, you can see these are slightly smaller cut sprues. But again, you've got 5 models on them, so again you get 4 of these for a total of 20 Germans as well. Now you've got all the different helmets designs, but you've also got some designs for use for your NCOs and your captains, etc. Again, these are really good quality models. What I'll be doing is I will be assembling some of these models, so in a later video I will show you some of them up close assembled. Now, you also get a series of dice. Now, not dice for rolling for the actual use in the game, but you get these dice here. Now, these dice are basically bolt action order dice. And one of the unique features about bolt action as a system is it's to determine initiative as to who goes. All of the dice are put into a bag, basically one coloured dice for each squad or unit on each side. So, for example, if I had 4 units on my side, say 2 infantry, a sniper team, and say a command team, I would put 4 brown dice in for me, and someone else, the other player, might have 4 as well, and they would put in 4 of these sort of tan coloured dice. Now the dice are then shaken up inside the bag, and one player randomly pulls out one of these dice, and that person's colour then goes. So that, if I was, for example, the tan ones, and I pulled this dice out here, I would determine one of my squads that hadn't yet went, place the dice next to that squad with the order that I wanted to give it. So I might, for example, be doing fire or rally to put them down, or ambush or run, etc. So it kind of adds a random element to the initiative. You're not going to know who is going to get to go next, but also you've got a slight you can choose which of your forces that hasn't yet went that you're going to assign the dice to, and that adds quite a unique element. In some games you might be a case that you pull out all of your dice first and your opponent's left sitting around to do all of their stuff at the end. In other cases it might go to back and forwards, so it adds a nice random element. Obviously in some later forces, once you play the game properly, some people might have a lot more dice. So for example, Soviet forces, where you've got a lot more inexperienced troops, they might have a lot more dice than, say, a veteran German player, and that would obviously affect the chances of who's more likely to pull out a dice and thus have the initiative. So it adds a nice little element to the game that works really well. Now, to round out the set, you also get a plastic ruin building, so it just gives you a little bit of terrain for the board. So just to summarise again what you get in the bolt action Assault on Normandy starter, you're getting the hardback rulebook, you're getting 20 Germans, 20 Americans with their required bases, a handy little ruin, the dice for the starter, and some leaflets to help you assemble it. All in all, a really good starter set. Very different in that you get the actual full rulebook, as I mentioned before. Can't recommend this enough. And this kit's been provided by Valiant War Games, and you'll find a link to their site where they sell this and other parts of the bolt action range below. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you found it useful.